Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Numythrandor, and today I believe I'll begin by making good on the title of my series. So, today we'll be discussing a bit of lore, a bit of storytelling that we've already come across in this game. Particularly... bastard hit me with a giant axe. Okay. Now, the story I want to discuss has to do with the opening, which we saw covered in full in part 1. Now, the opening showed something I thought of as interesting on this most recent playthrough. Namely, it seemed to show Seath holding one of the scales of his slain brothers. Now, what caught my attention about it this time, and not so much any previous occasion, was the notion of why he might be holding that scale. Well, namely, I believe he was hoping that by murdering his brethren, he'd be able to steal their scales and take their immortality for himself. However, based on his reaction, namely screaming and howling to the heavens, I'm inclined to think that his effort proved to be a failure. And that's even more likely when one considers what he did thereafter. Well. Oh, that was a stupid way to die. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, well, gives me a little more time to discuss, I guess. Now, Seath likely thought that he might be able to steal the immortality of his brothers. But this design failed him. Naturally, he did not give up on the idea of immortality. No, instead he turned his thought away from the stone scales of his brothers and moved on to other, harder substances. Yes, I expect that the crystal sorceries that he became famous for were derived directly from this idea that he might be able to gain immortality by mimicking the innate ability of his brethren. How exactly Crystal was supposed to do what the scales of the immortal dragons was going to do, I don't know. But in any event, we know that Seath ended up going hollow, his design ending up in an inevitable failure. Though it is interesting to consider, what connection exactly did Crystal have that made him think that it could do something akin to what the scales of the dragons did? But we're going to need to get a fair bit further into the game before we get to that particular line of discussion in any more detail. Though, one thing I can point out, or hypothesize about anyway, is how exactly and why did Seath, a dragon, go hollow? Can dragons innately go hollow? The eternal dragons most likely could not. Seath was unusual among their ranks, being without the eternal scales, and thus mortal. Yet one wonders, would that mortality truly extend to hollowing? Or was it the fact that he bore a fragment of a lord's soul, given a piece of Gwyn's lord's soul specifically? Could that explain why he went hollow? Was his amalgamation dragon and lord soul, so to speak, was that the cause of him losing his mind? It is an interesting thing to consider, and it would certainly add a measure of dramatic irony and comeuppance for the scaleless dragon to think that one of his own machinations to gain immortality may have cost him his mind, thereby making immortality a curse to him. It would certainly be fitting. But now, we're going to have a go at a Black Knight, and see if we can't get his sword. Alright, let's see how this goes. Ooh, right off the bat. Not great. Parry 1. Parry 2. Parry 3. And parry 4. And we got the sword. Yes! Alright, now we'll go and grab this blue tearstone ring. Going to be very useful for us in some situations. If at the moment it'll be useful simply because we don't have anything else that's worth slotting in. We don't really have any good rings, and I'm not going to waste a ring of sacrifice this early. Ah, fire bombers still there. Oh well, they do not matter. Now then, let's level up so we can actually make use of this sword. 18 dex. Oh, looks like I'm going to need to pop some of my consumable soul items, as I need 2 more strength to make this work. Just a moment. There we go. I think I'll need a little more than that. There, that ought to do it. Yep, just about enough. Can almost get 1 more level. So, I think we'll do just that. Now, we can't use the sword with 1 hand yet. But we can now wield it effectively in 2. And as you can see, that's more than good enough. Blocking won't help you, my friend. At least, not with those little shields. And we can level up again, so strength of 15. Ideally, we'll be able to one-hand this weapon sooner rather than later. But now, we have to take this on in its first true challenge. Slaying these hollows, what? It doesn't amount to much. Where did you come from? Most unwise. Oh well. Using up a bit of my Estus, which is not great. But, as you'll soon see, it won't really matter. So, not great start to this run. Getting hit repeatedly and having to burn through an Estus just moving through the undead berg. This goes to show you what being rusty will do. Nope. I semi-botched that. I meant to do the kick then the slash, but I ended up just kicking him again. Oh well. Come on. Not a great trap from you, sir. And it certainly didn't help you in the long run. Now then. Time to slay our first demon. Well, assuming you don't count the asylum demon. But we have to get rid of these archers first. Wouldn't exactly do to have them shooting us on our way. Now then, we have to lure out our prey. Yep, there he is. Now we go back up this ladder. This ladder. There he is. Are you gonna try to jump up? Well, too late. Ah! Would you look at that? Killed him in one hit. Ah! And that right there is precisely why I went to the trouble of getting this sword right out of the gate. It is a phenomenal weapon for demon slaying. And if we read its description, you'll see exactly why. Great sword of the Black Knights who wander Lordran, used to face chaos demons. The large motion that puts the weight of the body into the attack reflects the great size of their adversaries long ago. Now, an interesting thing about this, and something I've considered of late. The Black Knights of Gwyn and the Silver used to be brothers. But I wonder exactly when the division between them occurred. Of course, the armor of the Black Knights was scorched black by the killing of the First Flame. But when exactly did they get different weaponry? I suppose they could have been divided during the war with the demons, born of Izalith's folly. But, well, we won't know for sure, I suppose. But for now, I think we'll call it a day here.